Hey girls, so where are we going?
We're going on a train ride.
Yes, we're going on a train ride to go see what?
To see trees.
Big trees. Yeah, it's called the Scotts Valley Steam Train. We've got a little bit of a ways to go, so they're going to play their games.
My mom kind of brought my blanket because in case I get cold.
Yeah, we brought our sweaters in case it gets cold too. Hey Ari, what you playing?
I'm playing Mario Kart.
Mario Kart?
Yeah.
What you doing, Isla? Alright, so we will see you in a bit when we turn the video back on when we get there. What you doing up there?
I just climbed up here.
You just climbed up there?
We're here, finally.
Say cheese.
Can someone help me get up there too?
Hold on, Uncle will be here in a minute. We're going to be doing the Roaring Camp and Big Trees.
This is so high.
Yes, that is a very big tree.
I could get some firewood out of that boy.
Isla would like some help, babe. Ah.
You got it?
Move your feet, lady.
Your hand? I got you.
Hold on, don't push your sister because she's standing. All right, sit
But
down,
there's a
please.
bug on you.
Oh, that's okay. It's not going to hurt me.
All right, so here we go. Can you say hi? All right, Uncle Gene's over there with Ari. And now we have to cross a bridge. Isn't that wonderful? All right, guys, you're going to have to help me across this bridge.
Girl, it's 10 feet off the
I
ground.
don't give a crap. Terrified of bridges.
It's maybe 5 feet off the ground.
Welcome to Roaring Camp.
I do not like bridges.
Oh, you like bridges.
Say cheese.
It's so many trees. I'm sure we're gonna see big red. Is that the train we're going on?
I don't know which one we're going on. We'll see when we get there.
I think it's that one. That's straight ahead.
Here, let's see what the sign says.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's a baby one. There's a little baby one. I
Oh,
can't.
look at the duckies.
Turtles.
Turtles?
There's a board over there. There's a bunch of turtles over there.
Oh, yeah. Check that out. Yeah, see all the turtles?
Come here, baby.
Waiting for you.
What?
We're waiting for you.
Okay. I was just getting videos of the turtles.
They're straight ahead of us.
There's more ducks.
We're going on a train ride.
Look at all the duckies down there.
Duckies! 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 Let's keep moving.
I'm guessing it's a no hunting zone. Alright, y'all, just a heads up. Part of the video is going to look a little funky while I'm walking because Well, I sprained my ankle coming down the hill because, of course, I did. Thanks, Nikki. That's Nikki, by the way. I don't think she's really been in any of the videos with the girls. Just you've heard her in the background. Yeah, she hides from the camera, which is why she's walking away from me. I hide from the camera too. That's why I'm behind it. Camera shy?
Yeah. I think it's that one. You see what's the white? I think it's that one, but I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think it's Sissy. I know what it is. I know that's not.
I wonder if the school's going on the train. That's gonna be.
Well, they probably went on the earlier one. Well, that's part of the reason Okay, people. Here's the handicap path. You walk all the way there and go around. Or you could just walk there. I don't...
I think it's a wheelchair if you want to check out the train.
Maybe. I don't know.
Sharon, no?
I want to check it out.
Alright, we're gonna go check it out.
Okay. Look at the schoolhouse over there.
Schoolhouse?
Yeah.
Is that because the school lives there?
Go look. So here we are at the Roaring Train Camp. I don't know, I'll put the actual name up. It's super cute here. They got like the old Western store. We'll head over there now. The restrooms are cute. I remember coming here when I was the girls' age on field trips. The video. She was posing for the camera and didn't realize it was a video. She's like, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Let's go show the camera the rest of the story.
There's lots of trees, but we haven't seen redwood trees yet. But maybe we'll see them on the train.
We will.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. Well, look at that.
Do you know what those are? Yeah, hay bales. Yeah, they probably do a little mutton busting in there.
Those are for cows and goats and stuff to lay in the same comfortable.
That's not mud. Yeah, I imagine you can. Like, you can even order, like, lunches and picnic baskets and stuff.
Yeah, I think like if you're waiting, maybe the picnic baskets. But I saw that they're pre-ordered, right?
Yeah.
That's good to know. That'd be fun one day.
I also saw they have, like, little, like, passports for the kids to earn prizes as they go.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you guys would be here that much, though. I just saw it when we were at the...
Marianne's ice cream.
Are you sure?
Yeah, bagels with cream cheese.
Come through this way. Yeah, we went to Bagel Cafe.
Yeah.
Stand up. Stand up.
I don't know if I want to get anything to drink now. I don't want to have to...
This is only 11:30.
Yeah. Well, I know, but if I drink now, then by the time I need to use the bathroom,
All right.
we'll be on a train somewhere. Come on, let's go get your pictures taken over here at the little props. Yeah, I'm going to get a pretzel too.
Maybe when we go, right?
Huh?
Maybe when we go for the ride.
Yeah, I love me and my pretzels. In Oak Harbor, in Delta, there's this place is called Higher Grounds, which is actually a coffee shop. Most people don't think it is. Well, they have a jalapeno cheese stuffed pretzel. It is so good. Yeah, usually when he's in trouble, he goes to get me one.
The face picture.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go do the face pictures.
Okay, you gotta get down now.
So we're gonna do the face pictures. So I'm gonna turn off the video so we can do our face pictures. So we're here in the store.
You wanna buy a rock? Oh, yeah.
How about this mug? I like this one. Lee, what about this mug? Here, go. It's red. How about this? This is a nice mug. Actually, pretty easy. I think I'm gonna have to get this.
Then you have to find out. You don't have cash?
Actually, I will, but I'm gonna get them afterwards, so I don't have to take it on the train.
How did that sell out? I don't see.
Probably.
These trains were designed.
For this.
You want to be uncovered or covered?
Uncovered.
These trains were designed for hauling.
Don't wait, like 1 through 3 was already, yeah, all the covered ones are done anyway.
That's the very back.
So either the very back or like one of these two.
Oh, where is perfect?
Yeah, I think one of these two is perfect, yeah.
Let's just go to this.
Alright.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard the
You ready?
12 o'clock-ish Redwood Forest Steam Train. I'll be your conductor today. My name is Charlie.
Hey, listen.
Hey, good to see you.
Okay, I got it over here.
Yeah, thank you. You know, the girls.
Thanks for coming on down.
Like, I want to see together.
Now, before we get rolling here, there's a few safety rules I gotta make you aware of to keep you safe. Because safety is the name of the game here on the steepest narrow gauge railroad in all of North America. Yeah, that's this one.
Oh, that sounds promising.
Rule number 1,
Awesome.
don't touch the plants. 95% of the plants you can grab from this train are magical plants that will leave you with a magical rash that might magically spread to your entire body. Magically. Of course, this magical plant I'm referring to is known as poison oak. Poison oak ain't no joke. that's a souvenir you don't want to take home. So please keep your hands, feet, children, and face inside the rail cars at all times. We also do not allow any burning of organic combustible materials with fire on this train. No smoking with fire, because we don't want you to set the forest or our train on fire again. That wasn't too fun last time. Please, no smoking.
Again.
If you brought any giant backpacks, huge purses, unnecessary camera equipment, or anything along those lines, those items must be placed underneath the bench you are currently seated upon, not on the bench, because you didn't buy a ticket for your bag. The benches themselves can also be used as a flotation device in the event of a water landing. Children under the age of 2 riding for free without a ticket are unaccounted for in our seating chart and unpredictable in general. Therefore, they must be on your lap under your full control the entire trip. Good luck. Children under the age of 5 are not permitted in any of the corner seats of these rail cars. But the most important rule I saved the best for last. It has to do with the lovely little yellow signs you may notice on both ends of every single rail car on this entire railroad. They say, please remain seated. So once our train leaves this train station here, please remain seated at all times until we get to the top of the mountain. Once we get to the top of the mountain, we will have a small break for about 5 to 7 minutes. We'll let you stand. After that, though, we will turn this whole train around up there, and then we're going to go down the same train tracks we came up originally, but in the opposite direction, putting all of you on the opposite side of the train on the way down the hill, giving you a totally different view and the opportunity to get that picture you had to get so bad. So know that you will see everything that this railroad has to offer you from the exact seat you're currently seated in right now. So please, please, do not stand or switch sides at any point in this trip because it's dangerous. So please remain seated at all times. Y'all got it? All right, we've got Clarence from the depot. Are you ready for a fabulous train ride? Woo! All right, well, brace yourselves for impact at breakneck speeds of up to 10 miles an hour. Here we go. Engine 1, you have the high ball. Now, as we leave this old train station here, if you see anybody staring at you, you may want to stare at them back. And if you feel like it, give them a nice happy wave. Because people love waving at people who are waving at them from a moving train. That's right. This is a perfect opportunity to practice your queen wave if you haven't done so.
Have you practiced your queen wave? All in the wrist.
Just
Twist the wrist. No. Yeah, just a little under wrist so you don't get tired. I had to do that in parades. I was in way too many of those. Okay, start watching.
He's out there. Give him a nice happy wave. He's a fabulous blacksmith. Very
Wave.
talented. He'd love to teach you all about his trade.
Yeah.
Look, he's waving at
You
you.
want to say that for the camera?
I'm having fun.
I think you just made that. Nice heart.
Here, you can watch.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too carried away literally from the train station, this would be a fabulous time for all of you to whip out those tickets. That's right, it's ticket time. Oh no.
You got them right,
Please have
Nikki?
your ticket out of your pocket, out of your purse, out of your backpack, out of your jacket, out of your sock, out of your hat. Whoever your ticket is at, please have it out in your hand and ready. And I'll be right with you because you're on the right kid to pick you up. That's right. Please have your ticket ready. Thank you.
It said 5 and under. Can't sit here.
Yeah.
Alright, then, right?
Yeah. You can sit there. It says 5 and under, and you're 6 and tall.
Can't sit. Come on, back to sit here.
5 and under can't sit on the corner. No. You can't move right now anyway. You can look behind.
I don't want to be under that.
There you go. Lean up against sit up here, and then you can lean up against and see behind me. There you go. That works. Is that better? Yeah. Wave. She's got ours.
Perfect.
Oh, and they have passports too. The little kitty passports.
If you got it for the steam train, it should already be stamped.
Okay, I got them after the steam train, so yeah. that we can't move, but he can walk out of the train. Yeah. I think he stuck them in a pocket or something. They were free, so we can grab more if we
They're
need to.
probably in the pile
Yeah.
or I left them sitting on that first bench. But
Oh. There, nothing was stamped on them yet, so it's not like. And I mean, unless you plan on doing this a lot, I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot.
I think I wanted to come up for a picnic.
And the beach one would be fun too. I thought about doing that one also, but I thought that might be a bit much right now. Look at the water. Yeah.
Ooh, look, a deer. A John Deere.
A John Deere.
Anyhow, our train is now entering a location. Please welcome Imaginative Day. Big trees. Ooh. Please remain seated, miss.
Look at the trees, baby.
You could say she's 6 foot.
So the oldest, largest coastal
Well, the way she's sitting now, like kind of leaning up against Jean, I think she's got more.
Notice important requirements, and man, are they tall. In fact, the tallest tree recorded to this day is a coastal redwood tree, just like these ones. Notice the Hyperion giant that measures over 382 feet tall. That's taller than the Statue of Liberty and the pedestal it's standing on. Ooh, look, a bobcat. Excavator. Now, if you take a moment to look up there towards that old steam engine, that's a 1912 Shea locomotive. Now, from this perspective, if you then look to the left-hand side of the train, over there, you'll be looking at nothing.
Look at the tree coming up, Isla. Look at this one.
Mike's all cut now, sorry. But now you all know the left and right-hand side of the train, which I'll be referencing throughout this trip. Now, if you're on the left-hand side of this train, you may want to have those video cameras ready, because in a few moments our train will be crossing the sharpest curving passenger carrying truss in all of North America, and on the left.
All right, you can turn around so you're like this.
Now, if you're on the right-hand side of the train, don't worry. Remember, we turn the train around halfway through the trip. All y'all on the right are going to have a nearly identical view when we're coming down the mountain facing the opposite direction a little later. The left-hand
Yeah, don't
side
touch anything.
will be your chance to get a cool video of the bridge. Right-hand side, you'll get your chance a little later. Don't worry. Just remember, please remain seated at all times, especially on the bridge. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Huh? Okay. So yes, apparently we're going to be going over a bridge soon. Troy. Oh my God. Isla, look.
Back there, like the spare tire, but spare
Look at this tree.
That's like a big one of smoke. Big one of I think we get off by when the train was going.
Well, it's probably someone who works here. He was checking the tracks, which frankly he should have done before we were on the railroad. Are you having fun, Ari? Yes, you liking it?
Now, if you take a moment to look up there towards that 1912 Shea locomotive, and then look all the way back here, where I'm currently standing on the end of the last car. That's a difference of 17 feet in elevation. Yes, the locomotive at the front of this train is 17 feet higher in elevation than me in the last car.
Okay, you have to sit in my lap if you sit over here, okay?
One of the steepest narrow gauge grades in all of North America. This is an 8.5% grade.
No, go this
That
way.
means that for every 100 feet our train is going forward, we're also gaining 8.5 feet of elevation. We're going up 8.5 feet for every 100 feet we go forward. Thus an 8.5% grade. And that's how you measure grades, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to algebra. Now, sorry. This is incredibly steep for a train, especially considering that most modern trains like Caltrain and Amtrak and Union Pacific, they consider a 3% grade to be as steep as they can possibly climb. But here on this railroad, we consider 3% to be pretty much flat. All thanks to that all-wheel drive, gear-driven steam locomotive at the front of this train called a Shea. That's a very unusual kind of steam engine. It's very similar to a four-wheel drive truck stuck in first gear for those of you that know what a manual transmission is. Being a four-wheel drive truck, you get all the traction in the world, right? Now being stuck in first gear, you get all the power and torque in the world too, right? But you don't get that much top speed. That's why the top speed on this locomotive.
yeah, they're really mean. That's so much cool.
Yeah.
Lifespan of a coastal redwood tree in most places is only about 750 years, that's all. But in this particular valley, because we receive fog every single night here, redwoods can survive for 2,600 years in this valley. But the roots live for 10,000 years, making them one of the oldest living things on Earth that we know about. Now how this works is kind of neat. If you look at the base of a lot of these larger redwood trees out here, you may notice a bunch of cute little baby redwood trees out growing in a circle around the base of the larger trees. Well, that's the root of that tree getting ready for the original tree to fall over due to old age. Once this occurs, the roots then send all of their energy to those cute little baby redwood tree sprouts, which will be quickly matured into a very small circle or cluster of redwood trees known as a cathedral grove or fairy ring. Depending on what you're into, it's the same thing. Call it whatever you want. Now this keeps repeating every 2,600 years, each time making a slightly larger cathedral grove. Until after 9,000 years, we're left with a giant circle of trees large enough to host a wedding. Like I'm going to show you in that corner. This is actually how redwoods reproduce about 85% of the time. Through their roots by producing genetic copies of each other. So to help create genetic biodiversity, these trees reproduce through seeds only 15% of the time. 1-5. Now, the reason why that percentage is so small has to do with all the dead sticks and leaves on the forest floor around us. That thick layer down there is known simply as duff, spelled D-U-F-F, just like Homer Simpson's favorite beverage. That thick layer of dust on the forest floor makes it very difficult for the little seeds to get to the dirt. So these trees get held on fire. Because the first thing a forest fire does is burn all the dung off the ground, exposing that soil, adding nitrogen into it too, making it very fertile. Fire will then take out any invasive species of plants that are taking up valuable real estate on the forest floor. Fire will also take out any trees that are weak because they are sick, harboring 15 Once those trees are gone, it makes the forest healthier and clears paths for sunlight. And lastly, fire will release those little seeds out of the little redwood cones just a little bit more than usual, giving those little seeds nice nitrogen-filled dirt with plenty of sunlight and space to sprout in, which is pretty cool if you ask me. That's probably why we're here.
Hey, like that one looks like it belongs at home. The tiny little something. Yeah, those ones, Nikki, that's about the size we get at home. Maybe a little bigger. How much? You having fun? Yep. Well, like he said, the little fairy rings. That was once a fairy ring. They said that all the clusters were once little fairy rings, 800 years ago. Huh?
I'm calling the trees potatoes.
You're calling the trees potatoes?
Yep.
Why?
Because they look like potato because all branches are big.
Okay.
And big column. Bananas.
Look at the roots.
Our train is now quickly approaching a very special location on this railroad known as Spring Canyon. Spring Canyon used to be the home of our famous corkscrew trestle system, which is a really fancy name for two wooden train bridges that actually crossed over each other while forming a giant loop on the ground. In fact, when the trains were long enough, the locomotive at the front of this train would cross right over this last car, with both of them being on different wooden bridges. It looked great at gaining elevation on our little railroad. It also looks spectacular watching the train go over itself on a 100-foot tall wooden trestle amongst the old growth redwood forest. However, this all came to a halt one day in 1976, when mysteriously both of our trestles were engulfed in a 300-foot fireball that burned for 3 days.
I feel like
Now once those fires were extinguished, both of our trestles
You see that one?
As you're about to see, they're just standing pieces of charcoal in the woods. Now, this presents a growing trend for the trains and things are on the way. That problem being, we can no longer get our train up or down this mountain because somebody had literally burnt our bridges. Why don't do that? So to temporarily bypass these old burnt down trestles temporarily, our track crew decided to build a switchback on the hillside on our right. Staying true with narrow gauge line and railroad look-alike. However, because of our geography here in Spring Canyon, that switchback had to be a little steep. But our track crew back in 1976 was just a little overconfident in the abilities of our logging locomotives and thought we could make it up any hill we threw at them. So they didn't take any measurements the whole time they built the switchback until they completed it 6 months later.
Sounds like a man.
That's exactly the time that track crew found out that they had accidentally built the steepest pair of narrow gauge train tracks in its entire continent and possibly the world. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're about to go over. Yeah.
Sit up, sit right, sit right, sit right.
Completely backwards. Yeah, that's right, backwards. Making Lauren Cab the most backwards railroad you'll ever find. So please remain seated and hold on tight as we attempt to make it up this 10.5% grade coming up on our road. With this hill being as steep as it is, it usually takes
Oh my God, look at that bridge.
about 2 to 3 attempts to make it up this. However, last trip it took 8 attempts. Now you know why we were a little late. Sorry about that. Can't do much about physics, but I really tried. But as we're rolling into Spring Canyon, don't forget to look out for those old breakdown trestles. There are 2 out here, both imaginatively named the
No.
and
Scary.
the trestle, which is even higher. No, it's below you on the left.
Look at the old bridge.
Yeah, see, the old trestle's way
Oh,
up there.
okay. Yeah, I see that. And honestly, I'm getting a little creeped out.
Why do they stop?
Because we gotta try and chugga up the hill. But look, the bridge used to be above us.
I'll take you to the Copper River this year, my dear, and show you the old trestles for the copper mines.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm good.
No, it's on a gravel road. You don't, the trestles are all done for. You gotta get a running start at it?
Yeah,
Nice.
We're trying to make it up this.
yeah. He said it took 8 tries the last time. So next time when we're going up, go chugga. Because we're trying to make it up the hill.
Stay like that, okay?
Yeah, I think I can. Little Thomas the Tank Engine and everything.
Isla.
So currently why we're backing up now is because they're trying to get up the hill. We need a running start to get up the hill. And honestly, y'all, I was doing great until that bridge, and now I'm feeling really funky. And I am holding off the panic attack so bad.
I got you, my dear.
I'm not going to be holding on. Like they say to hold.
Damn it. Oh, okay.
Of the tree from the extreme heat of a forest fire. What contained in the lumber of the redwood is tannic acid. Tannic acid makes redwood lumber fire resistant, rot resistant, pest and termite resistant. Red, that's what they call redwoods. And worth a lot of money. And for that last reason, when the loggers saw these gigantic, ancient, uncut coastal redwoods stretching as far as their eyes could see in the early 1800s, they did not see natural beauty at all. No, all they saw were giant dollar signs. And
Giant dollar signs.
Guess what? They have successfully
That's probably why they have those dollar signs on them.
5% of all the old growth redwoods in the entire world. Now, 5% existed in 1920, and even less of that today. Which brings me to the main reason why this lovely forest is so special. This little piece of property has been standing there for over 2 million years, unlogged and untamed by man, and you'll be hard-pressed to find another piece of property as wild and uncut as this. The only trees around here we ever cut are weak, sick, diseased trees, usually fir trees. Let's start leading towards our railroad with the intent of falling. So we simply chop those ones down to the opposite direction. And then we leave them where they lay.
Oh yeah, there it is. There's the old coffee.
Cool. Now, if it
Tried that at the burn.
No.
during the storm, the only wood
I
we
know
really
that's
move
no
is
glory,
the
my dear.
stuff
It was 15 years before I was born, but I'm pretty sure I did it on purpose. Look at the trees.
That's why I keep seeing random letters on the stump.
Oh look, you can camp out now.
close to this to our
See,
train?
look, right here.
That means it's right next to the train tracks. Yes, that's how that works. You'd be surprised. All you gotta do is walk down the train tracks behind our train. You'll then be walking along a lovely little wooden fence you can see down there. When that lovely little wooden fence ends, you then want to turn to the right. And if you miss the giant circle of trees at that point, well, good luck. Please remain seated until you hear
can go down there.
short
I'm not gonna
whistle
walk that
blast.
far, but-
This actually applies to all trains. That one whistle blast you hear when your train stops is your engineer letting you know the brakes are fully locked up and it's safe to stand at that point. So don't stand on the train when it stops until you hear the whistle. The 9,000-year-old grove is behind us, the steam engine's at the front of the train, and have a lovely stay. We'll be up here for 5 to 7 minutes. When you hear the 4 whistle blast from the steam engine, that means it's time to return to your seats. But don't stand until you hear the whistle.
But I don't think it's
Great job, everybody. Wow. Nicely done. Thank you for listening.
So we're up here taking a little break from the train while we get turned around.
We just got off the train, and it was a really tough ride. But I kind of got sleepy.
Yeah, you got sleepy? What about you?
I did, but I just sleep.
Okay, why don't we go check out the train?
I want to.
You don't want to?
No, I do.
A little bit. Just a little more. Feel how we're slowing down just a touch? That's a good set. So I'll tell them. Engine 1, we got a good set. Kick it off, please. Good release, that ball running out, better down. See how the air compressor kicked on when I told him to kick off the brakes? That was a good brake test. That's a good thing.
That sign
Now,
said
ladies and
no
gentlemen, you
vehicles
already forgot
beyond
about
this
that
point. In
view I
other
just
words,
told you
keep
about?
your side besides at home.
It's okay. It's coming up on the left-hand side, just a little ahead of where the steam engine is. Look for the small break in the trees and stare. Uh-oh. Ooh, look at all the steam. Ladies and gentlemen, the train just blew up. Ride's over. Sorry. No, I'm just messing with you. That didn't happen. The technical term for that procedure is known as a blowdown, when you see all that steam coming out the side of the engine. And I'll tell you more about that when you're a little older. About 30 minutes from now, don't worry. For now, don't miss that view on the left. And while you're checking that out, I gotta make my way up to the front of this train because I have to do what's known as a roll-by inspection. We like to inspect the safety appliances of these rail cars as many times as humanly possible on every single trip. So anytime you see me on the ground on the left-hand side of these train cars, staring at the underside of the train cars as you all roll by, try not to get offended if I don't wave howdy at you, because I really want to. It's just I gotta make sure we're all safe. Safety is the name of the game here on the steepest narrow gauge railroad in all of North America. See you soon.
I don't think he has a voice by the time he goes home at the end of the day. Girls. Come back over here. All right. Do you want to come back? Come here. He's jumping
way back in 1867, a gentleman by the name of Joseph Welch bought this piece of property with the intention to clear cut it. But just before he chopped his trees down, he decided that he needed to show his wife how beautiful this ancient forest he just bought was. So he sent his wife a letter. Her name was Anna. Now, Anna received that letter from Joseph way out there in San Francisco. Upon receiving that letter, Anna hopped on a horse-drawn buggy and then embarked on a 3-day journey to get to here from San Francisco. Now, upon that 3-day journey, Anna passed through a whole bunch of pieces of property that had already been completely clear-cut, basically a bunch of desolate wastelands. So when Anna arrived on this ancient forest and saw these majestic, old-growth redwoods standing tall and proud, well, Anna thought it was the most beautiful thing she had ever seen in her entire life. Now, when her husband Joseph told her about his intentions to chop them all down, that did not go over too well at all. Anna became awfully cross with him, rightfully so, and then said something along the lines of, "It's a shame you're going to chop down all these trees, Joseph. The way you're chopping them down, there ain't going to be nothing left for our children to appreciate when they get older." Yeah, that's what she said. But on that day in 1867, something incredibly special happened. Something that didn't really happen every single day of the week of that time period, and unfortunately to this day. That is that Joseph Welch listened to his wife. That's right, take notes, gentlemen. Sorry. And thanks to Anna, all these trees around you were spared for future generations. The Welch family still owns this piece of property to this day. Now in 1959, our founder Norman Clark signed a lease agreement with the Welch family, allowing us access to their beautiful family forest for 100 years, also allowing us to build this recreation of a steam-powered narrow-gauge logging railroad right through the middle of it. Not to log these trees, but to showcase these ancient trees and the abilities of our ancient locomotives to fabulous people like you in the blue hat, or you with the pink hat, or you with the red jacket, or you looking at me like a weirdo, or any of you. So thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedules today to come on down here to ride and support our little family-owned and operated piece of history, because without the help and support of amazing individuals like all of you, we wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you for coming on down and experiencing the Redwood Forest narrow gauge steam train. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, now we're gonna go down the hill.
Before we were on that side.
What was that, sweetie?
She thinks we didn't switch sides, but I think we did.
Yeah. We did a big circle. Good.
Yeah, no doubt, huh? Man, oh dear, it's so big.
Then you already know exactly the way we maintain this narrow gauge railroad here. By hand. Because this is 19th century technology being a narrow gauge railroad, meaning they didn't really make much modern track equipment for this kind of setup.
Engine 1, you got the high ball. When ready.
So the next time you're watching one of those corny old western movies where they're building those train tracks across America by hand, using nothing but hand tools and extreme amounts of manual labor to do it, you can think of us, poor employees who have roaring camp railroads. I did get to cancel my gym membership though. It saves me a few bucks, and that's important, because work and pay like this keep you as thin as a rail. It's true. Couldn't resist. Now, one of the tools we're using when we're working on these old train tracks is known as a spike maul. A spike maul is the infamous 9-pound hammer you hear about in all those old folk songs. It is a 9-pound sledgehammer with a 4-foot handle. The faces of that hammer are extended out by 8 inches on both sides of the hammer head. However, they're only about an inch wide. I lost you in there, that's okay. This tool looks exactly like a giant capital letter T. T as in trains. Now this tool is used to drive the railroad spikes into the wooden tie to hold the rail in place. But to drive those spikes into that wooden tie, you have to swing this giant hammer behind you. Bring it up and over your shoulder and straight down in front of you in a giant circular motion with extreme amounts of force, but more importantly, accuracy. Because if you're off by just a few millimeters to the left, right, front, or back, when you're swinging that giant hammer down on that tiny little railroad spike, you're actually going to shoot that railroad spike out of the tire at Mach 3 into your co-worker's sheds. That's how I got all those scars. Good times, not really. Now the first time you ever handed a spike ball to use, it's an impossible tool to use. You are swinging that thing wildly. You can't really hit a thing. Your co-workers, they're laughing at you and pointing and dodging road spikes for their lives. And you're looking at them as if they were superhuman, wondering how in the world are they actually swinging that giant hammer with such force and accuracy? Well, I can tell you. After a few years of practice with this horrible tool, unfortunately of which I've had, eventually you get the swing of it. Pretty bad one, huh? I think I heard an audible sigh on that one. Did we warn you that this was a terrible Fun Express? No? Oh, sorry. Don't worry though, there's not much longer left in this trip. Just keep an eye out for the ROUSs. They're out here, they're dangerous. You know, the rodents of unusual sizes. Watch out, they'll get you. Come on, this place sounds and looks just like the fire swamp. It's quite lovely. You don't gotta be crazy to work here. They'll train you. Alright, enough of that.
He's got a pun for every occasion.
Oh, yeah. Our train is now quickly approaching a very special tree on this railroad that is leaning over our train tracks at a 40-degree angle. We have imaginatively named this special tree Leaning Tree. And every time the crews pass by it, we'll have our own weird rituals to keep it from leaning over anymore. Because it actually blocks the railroad, and as you all now know, we have to physically move the train tracks over by hand to clear it. Our engineering firemen like to give each other a big high five as they pass by the Leaning Tree. I personally like to kick it, because that's how I roll. I like to kick it. There's Leaning Tree. I bet you can't guess which one it is. Now, once you pass Leaning Tree, pay close attention off the right hand of this train, and you'll have one last opportunity to view this entire valley, just in case you missed that earlier. Look for the small break in the trees coming up on the right-hand side of this train, and you'll see all the trees that grew this entire valley in the last 100 years, and that giant bald spot where they're getting all the decomposing granite mixed with little flakes of gold. Like to have a little video of your locomotive's antique 3-chime steam whistle in action? Our engineer Ray is about to be wailing on that whistle for the Grizzly Flats crossing in about 10 to 15 seconds in theory. sharpest curving passenger carrying trestle in all of North America again. This time giving all of you on the right-hand side of this train a fabulous opportunity to get a video, just like everybody on the left-hand side of this train had earlier if they were paying attention to anything I was saying. Sorry, left-hand side, you had your chance to try to warn you. This will be the right-hand side's chance to get a neat video. But please remain seated for the remainder of this trip, in particular on the trestle. The trestle is 210 feet long. It's also 42 feet tall. And it's a little difficult to stick the landing from 42 feet in the air. I'm the guy who tried this, and the keyword there was new. So please remain seated. Now, if you're concerned about me running around this train, hopping on and off this thing like a wild man, thank you. I do appreciate your concern. But y'all don't gotta worry about me, because I have a train. Hey, that helps keep me safe. That's right, we're not out of the woods yet, ladies and gentlemen. In fact,
Hold on.
it's all downhill from here.
Hold on. I will. Sit down.
Good.
Alright, y'all. We're about to do the bridge again. And by this point, I know you guys all know how I feel about bridges. We've done it once. This is gonna be. I was tearing up, and it's bad.
How many of you have ever accidentally boiled a whole pot of water down to nothing like I did last night attempting to make mac and cheese? But if you've ever done this, you'll find once all the water has boiled away from the pot, you're left with all the naturally occurring minerals in that water. They get left behind, right? Well, the same thing occurs to a steam engine, especially after you boil away 700 gallons of water like we just did going up and down this mountain once. It leaves a whole bunch of random minerals at the bottom of that locomotive spoiler that mess up these old steam engines really bad. So to help counter this problem, all steam engines are equipped with a very special valve known as a blow-down valve. It's basically a large hole at the lowest point of that locomotive's boiler, where all that sediment likes to build up. Now when our fireman, Doug, opens up that special valve, it lets a whole bunch of water and steam jet out of the side of the boiler with 200 pounds of pressure behind it, taking all that sediment right out of the boiler with it in a giant cloud of steam like you may have noticed on top of Bear Mountain. I told you I'd tell you about it. In a few moments, you're all going to have the opportunity to witness a blowdown and maybe even film it. That kid just grabbed a bunch of poison oak. Our train's going to keep rolling forward here a little bit further, and then we're going to stop. Once we stop, I got to skedaddle up to the front of the train and change the train tracks. Once I do that, the train will begin to roll. And that is a great cue for all of you to start filming. Because shortly after, our train is going to cruise right next to a little man-made lake. There's no one standing right there. That's usually where our fireman Doug likes to let that blowdown go down. So have your camera ready when we begin to roll, because you won't want to miss this.
You are goofy small.
of lots of squirrels.
You saw lots of squirrels?
Yeah.
How did you like the
Guess
train?
Guess what? They were so tiny. They were like babies.
Little baby squirrels?
So scary.
It was scary?
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I think a part of it was scary too.
No, it wasn't.
I was scary when we went over Double Ridge.
It wasn't scary.
Well, it's good you didn't think it was scary. Everybody has different ideas of what they think they're scary. What do you think is scary?
I don't think anything was.
You don't think anything's scary? Not even the dark?
Not even the dark.
Wow, that's very brave. Isla, stay in the fence.
I'm chasing squirrels and birds away.
You chasing the squirrels away?
I think the squirrels don't like that, Susie. I think scaring the squirrels.
Yeah, you're probably scaring the squirrels, but they're probably used to it too.
Even if they're cute, doesn't mean Papa Deere's not even helping Mommy. I just saw them walking away.
Well, they gotta wait for the food to get there. He's going to the bathroom. It's probably gonna be a while. There was a lot of people in front of us, so it's gonna be a few minutes before the food is ready.
I'm gonna go in here. I want to catch some more animals.
What part did you find scary? What was scary?
Nothing but just because when the train was like, I saw someone making it go slow. And I'm thirsty.
We got sodas. They're coming. Well, y'all, I think that's going to conclude today's video and our train ride through the Redwoods here in Scotts Valley in Santa Cruz County in California. Yep. Gonna be wrapping up our trip to California here shortly too. Heading back home. Miss the dogs. I'm sure they are ready to come home too because they're at a happy camp.
Figured out how to get on. But I definitely know how to get on. That's easy peasy, Robert.
All right, you guys should probably get down from there.